All right, what's going on, everyone? We have got the 9070 XT again in Cyberpunk 2077, and we're going to run through it. 3 different cards in this area. So I'm going to test the 9070 XT, the 5070 Ti, and the 5070. We're just going to keep it locked to 4K. That way the test is nice and clean. We're going to keep it at night in this area. So this will be a triple header. We're going to have all 3 videos. I'm going to post at the exact same time. So if you're seeing one of these, be sure to check the description for the comparison in the other sections as well. So right here, we're just at low, 95 FPS. Looks fine, no big deal. Sun's going down. I got it set to nighttime. If it does kind of creep back up in the morning, I'm going to set it back to evening, just to get these nice reflections to show up. But right now we don't have any path tracing, ray tracing, nothing like that is on. We're just on low, and we're just going to kick it up to medium, just how we normally do. Again, be sure to check out all 3 of these if you're kind of waffling between, which card to get. This is going to ultimately show you with real numbers what you can expect. So right here, just medium. Everything's just fine again, 95 or 75 FPS, and still looks really good. Medium is just fine for the native resolution, but we're going to be doing some upscaling soon once we turn on all that ray tracing stuff. The 9070 XT has definitely improved from last generation in ray tracing. Path tracing still seems a bit tough, but again, that's why I wanted to put this kind of 3-card challenge to the test and kind of put it to bed. So yeah, we're at 80 FPS here, medium. So let's jump over and see what we can expect from the very next level, which would be high, of course. So no big deal there. We're going to go up to, we're going to leave it on native, go to FSR-4, and everything looks good here. Turn all this stuff off. Go ahead and just get rid of all that junk. All right, go ahead and apply that. So this would just be a high setting. Still no RT. I'm kind of going through these lower settings. I'm waiting for the sun to kind of go down a little bit more. That's why I kind of selected this area with this time. But yeah, we are looking about 75 FPS here. So just before the ultra setting, we're still maintaining a really nice performance metrics right here on the screen. So we're about 63 FPS right here, staring into the sun. Got all that nice lighting going on, yeah. So we're going to jump over to ultra now and see what we can expect from that setting just before we kick on the ray tracing stuff. So let's go back to FSR-4. All this stuff drives me crazy. This game is an amazing game. It's gorgeous, but man, it's hard to test because stuff just wants to jump around on you constantly. So I'm being really careful here. I don't cut these sections out because I want everyone to be able to tell exactly what I'm doing with no question about it. So FSR-4 Ultra here. All right, so this is the first time we dip below 60, and we're at 40 FPS. Now, I will say that the frame time graph is pretty smooth. That little bump in there is just from, going into the menu and getting all the stuff set up. So once it kind of sorts itself out, it runs really well. As in, the smoothness is fine. We could do a lot for our FPS here. So let's go ahead and jump up on our upscaling. We'll introduce some quality upscaling rather. So yeah, we're leaving everything else the exact same and jumping down here, and we get a nice little bump back up into the 80s. Now all these puddles and stuff, this area is going to really start to pop off once we get some of that ray trace lighting in here. So yeah, we're at 75, 72 FPS, and we are looking pretty good as far as, smoothness. Overall playability is really nice. 80 FPS in this title is more than enough in my opinion. It's just fine, especially at 4K. I mean, we're really pushing some pixels here, and the 9070 XT is handling it just fine. This card is a really good card for just brute force. I mean, it's just the raster on AMD cards generally don't disappoint. So once we start to kick on some of that ray tracing, you'll start to see kind of where it might start to kind of convince you one way or the other if you're kind of like looking at different cards here. So I just wanted to come in here and let's look at some ray tracing. So let's come up to that very first one. We're not going to do Steam Deck. Ray tracing low. Quality FSR, let's leave it on that. No frame gen. This brings in your local shadows. Everything else is pretty much off. It's just local shadows. This is not going to probably be any different. It runs just fine with that first level of ray tracing. Yeah, so we're still in the 80s, so it's almost like a negligible amount once you kick on that very first level of ray tracing. So right here, though, we've got a little bit darker shadows, you know, just kind of like it kind of pops up that contrast a little bit. And, you know, that's definitely doing a little bit as far as adding some depth to the image. But yeah, still 70 to 80 FPS in this area is definitely nothing to scoff at. Now, I'm going to jump up to that very next level here. All right, so let's go up to the medium ray tracing. Of course, let's bring it back to FSR-4 Quality. We needed that before. We'll need it again. This brings in your sun shadows and pops your ray trace lighting up to medium. All right, so everything else is the same as usual. I turn this stuff off, or try to remember to. It always wants to turn on. So right here, we are looking like... let's give it some time here. So it costs us a little bit. So that's about a 30 FPS drop going from ray trace low to medium. But, you know, it all depends on what you find valuable. All right, so yeah, we are looking like 53. Let's give it some time on those 1% lows to bring that in. I'm just kind of running around this area. The sun's starting to go down, so we're going to really start to have some of those images really pop and start to look really good. So right now, I'm going to say we're definitely going to have to go do a little bit of upscaling, maybe to a balanced or even performance. Balanced generally doesn't move the needle too much. It's kind of a weird half between, you know, kind of a weird in between. It's more meant to just kind of take the edge off, but here at least gets us over 60, so that's kind of nice. It's probably not going to be over 60 all of the time, but, you know, a title like this, I don't think you need to really obsess too much about 60 all of the time or anything like that. I think anything around 60 is generally just fine. All right, so let's come over here. I don't want to lose any of my the water, as well as some of these puddles and reflections here. This game, man, whenever they're making this game, they knew what they were doing. They put puddles everywhere. They really wanted to showcase the ray tracing for sure. So right here, let's go up to that next level of RT. Now, this is not going to be path tracing. So it's just ultra ray tracing, kind of all the way out with before path tracing. And like I did in my other video, I'm just going to go up to Psycho here. It's negligible. It doesn't make a difference. Just go up to Psycho. It's hardly anything at all that it, you know, performance costs. So right here, everything is just kind of as the preset has it set. Again, you know, this is going to be a triple header. So if you're watching this video, there are 2 other videos linked in the description for the 5070 Ti as well as the 5070, where I go through these exact same settings, and you know, that way you can have like a nice comparison and help you make an informed decision. These cards are not cheap, and they're not getting cheaper, so I want you guys to be able to focus on what you care about. You'll see that this card handles RT just fine at 4K. I mean, this is RT Ultra, and, you know, just remember, path tracing is considered an experimental feature in this title. So really, if you go up to performance here, FSR performance still looks exceptionally good. It's very, very comparable to DLSS 4. DLSS 4.5 is a different story. It's really, really good, which might give the advantage to NVIDIA if you don't mind doing that kind of really extreme upscaling, especially on that 5070. But look at these reflections. I mean, that is just money. Look at this, just eye candy everywhere. But yeah, let's go up to performance and see what we can expect there. So we're going to go over to just a performance setting, not going to touch anything, not going to go over to path tracing yet. I just want to see what it kind of can give us with full-blown RT. Now, here's the thing. RT and path tracing, ray tracing and path tracing are sort of different. Path tracing on the AMD side still is kind of comparable to last gen, in my opinion, but ray tracing has had a dramatic leap forward. You know, 73 FPS at 4K, performance FSR, full-blown ray tracing. Yeah, they've made some big strides when it comes to ray tracing. I mean, you know, this is like night and day from, you know, the the previous generation of Radeon cards. Big time difference. All right, so I'm just kind of running around here. Just want to get some more lighting in here and just kind of show you guys what all you can expect here. So about 79 or 70 FPS, 69 FPS. That looks really good. And then let's jump over in here and just kind of get some of these reflections to come in. I mean, this area's got lights everywhere, so it's a good place to stress out your RT. Oh man, I just walked into a really bad area. Let me get the hell out of here. Run, 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 run. I did not mean to go in there. Maybe if I come over here, they'll leave me alone. I'll just get hit by a car. How about that? All right, so I think this is a pretty good part to jump over to some path tracing. And it kind of, yeah, I mean, hold your breath. It's going to be a little bit rough, folks. So just hang on. Let me get up to FSR-4, leave it on performance, and then just come down here, take a look. We've got path tracing, supersedes ray tracing, so it has to grade that out. Everything down here, let's turn all this mess off here. Try to keep it as image clean as possible. All right, so yeah, we are looking good as far as all this goes. So let's go ahead and apply that. This is Overdrive, so this is path tracing. 53 FPS, you could just frame generate from here and have a good time. This is a game that does not require hundreds of FPS. It's a single player title, story based, you know, long form, you know, you can sink 1,000 hours into this, no problem. So this is not a game that's competitive in my opinion. So you can really enjoy this game even at 40 or 50 FPS with some frame generation. Before I do that, because it does require a restart, I'm going to jump in here and leave it all on the settings that you see here, but I'm just going to go up to Ultra Performance. So Ultra Performance will get you back in the game. I mean, you're at 82 FPS here. Now, it is a bit softer, but it's not like the end of the world softness. I would say that Ultra Performance on FSR-4 looks better than Ultra Performance did on DLSS 4, just before the 4.5. So if you're used to that, this is better looking than that. Now it's not 4.5 with the new L model. That is incredible and incredible to look at. But really, this right here would be fine to play at. I mean, I don't think that anyone would really suffer too much with Ultra Performance on FSR-4. It's not quite perfect, but it will get the job done. So what I want to do now is just jump back over to that performance setting, because I think that performance still looks insanely good on FSR-4. Definitely worth it to try. Then we're going to kick on frame generation. All right, so we're going to go ahead and confirm that, do a restart, and I'll be right back. All right, we're back in it now with frame generation turned on. We are about 65 FPS here. I'll show you my settings. I have set the time to about 10 o'clock, so we'll have some nice nighttime reflections to look at. Still on path tracing, performance with some frame generation. All right, so everything's set up here. Nothing's been changed or altered in any way. All right, so let's jump up here and see what we can expect with a little bit of frame generation and be able to enjoy performance upscaling versus ultra performance. So things are a little bit sharper looking. I mean, look at this. God, this is so freaking pretty. This is a 9070 XT with full path tracing on performance with just a little bit of, you know, frame generation helping it get over the hump of that 60. Right now, I'm telling you, I'm on a controller right now. If I were to be on mouse and keyboard, I don't really sense any sort of latency whatsoever. I'm on a mouse now. Everything does feel really good. 80 FPS. Looks fantastic. Your VRAM's nice and under control. We have a really clean, crisp image here. All right, so let's jump over and see what we can expect from Ultra Performance, because that is going to, you know, be the best case scenario when it comes to, you know, what you can expect as far as ultimate, you know, FPS or whatever. So I mean, it still looks really good. I mean, there's nothing really that I would say is like unplayable about this experience whatsoever. I mean, these reflections just look so good. Path tracing is just next level on this title. So right here, this would be a very viable way to play it if you wanted to enjoy some path tracing. There's been a lot of debate. I've kind of been checking out the comments. This is kind of why I wanted to do this. There is just, you got to put numbers on the screen and see what happens. I mean, that's the only way to do it. So I am going to jump over into just the regular ray tracing. So no path tracer. I'm going to knock it down one. See how it performs there. And then we're going to move on. Like I said, this is a triple header kind of thing. We're going to see what all of these cards look like. And let's come back here. Let's get our bearings back. So let's go back to FSR-4 performance. Frame generation is on. We are on the regular version of ray tracing, so no path tracing. Still psycho lighting, so we're going to keep everything the exact same. Take all this off. All right, so there we go. Like I said, I like to take you guys into the settings with me instead of cutting those out, because I think it's important to be able to see exactly what I'm testing and not just fly through everything and make it all, you know, hard to understand. So I really try to make sure that you guys are getting the best visual, the best insight on the visuals, I guess I should say, and all the settings. So 129, 118 FPS, full RT, ultra, psycho lighting. I mean, this is fantastic. I mean, look at this. The reflections still look good. I mean, don't get it twisted that path tracing is like way better than ray tracing. Ray tracing ultra on this title still looks absolutely gorgeous. Nothing but eye candy. I mean, look at these reflections. Tell me that ain't beautiful. I mean, it works. This area is so damn pretty to me. All right, so let's jump over and see what we can expect going up a little bit since we have the frames. Let's go up to balanced. All right, so let's check out balanced. Just keep it on ray tracing here. And we're still at 102 FPS. Still feels exceptionally good. I do not want to deter anyone from getting this card. You know, I'm all about getting a card, you know, hardware for the best hardware for the cheapest price. I don't give a damn what the label says on the box. It could say NVIDIA, it could say AMD, it could say, you know, Costco. I don't care, as long as it does what I need it to do. And right now, the 9070 XT is absolutely performing. You know, in Dogtown, that's a hard test. That's why I decided just to avoid Dogtown and kind of show walking around the city, which is kind of what you do more often in this title anyway. But I mean, look at this. The reflections are just so gorgeous. All right, so yeah, we are looking like exceptionally good performance here. 1% lows are 74. That's awesome. All right, so, and we're just on balance. So let's go up to quality. Again, leave everything on. Just leave everything on ray tracing. Ray tracing ultra might be the best way to play this if you don't want to upscale it beyond performance or use frame generation. But right now, frame generation with ultra ray tracing and psycho lighting with a simple quality upscale. I mean, look at how beautiful this is. So I gotta say, you know, I mean, they have made some really, really good strides when it comes to ray tracing. But in a game like this, where eye candy is what you're after, you know, most of the time, single player title, I think the 9070 XT is an exceptionally good card. You know, like I said, I'm all about getting the best thing you can get for the least amount of money. And sometimes, you know, these cards do compete with each other, so that's a good thing for us. Sometimes one might be cheaper than the other. So yeah, let's jump over and gonna move on to that next test. So be sure to check the description. All three of these videos will be live at the exact same time. So if you're seeing this, the other ones will be in the description if you're wondering about the 5070 Ti or the 5070 with similar settings. All right, so see you next time. Peace.